Hello students, today we are going to start a new unit, Atomic and Molecular Structure. In this unit, we will discuss about VACPR theory and its application for structure of NH3, NH4 plus, H2O, H3O plus, SO2 and XeF4. Molecular orbital theory. We will discuss about formation of homo and heteronuclear diatomic molecules, about hydrogen bonding and its applications. Also, we will discuss about metallic bonding, that is also known as band theory, coordination compounds, introduction to Werner's coordination theory, and naming of coordination compounds. Before going to the main topics, I would like to discuss some basic terms which are used to explain about the bonding and atomic structure, molecular structure, etc. So the basic term which is used is orbit and orbital. Most of the students don't know about the difference between the orbit and orbital. So the name orbit was given by Bohr and it is according to the Bohr's model. Orbit is actually a well-defined imaginary circular path where the electrons revolve around the nucleus according to the Bohr's model of an atom. So here you can see that this one, the right side diagram is showing the Bohr's model in which a red color sphere shows nucleus and electrons are revolving around the nucleus in different orbits. Orbits are also called shells or energy levels, and these are represented by K, L, M, N, or also sometimes these are represented by the numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. So orbit basically a shell around the nucleus in which the electrons are revolving. Next is orbital. Orbital concept is quite modern concept as compared to the Bohr's model, and here concept of orbital is required because in case of orbit you can see that there is no direction. It shows only a circular path. So obviously it is very difficult to explain the three-dimensional structure of molecule because there are different directions in which the bonds are formed. Also bond angle is formed because the atoms are situated in different directions. Atoms are situated in different axes. And if we discuss only a circular path, then it is very difficult to explain those bond angles, etc. So to explain all the concept of proper bonding, the concept of orbital was arised, and orbitals are having some shapes, and this is in accordance with the uncertainty principle. So orbitals are basically showing the probability of finding electrons, and where the lobes of orbitals are present, the probability of finding electron is high, and also a single orbital can accommodate a maximum of 2 electrons only. Whereas in case of orbit, what happened? In case of orbit, different orbits contain different number of electrons, and a formula is there to calculate the number of electron in a particular orbit is 2n square, where n is the number of orbit, or you can say the number of shell. Like if it is a first shell, then it is 2 1 square, 2 into 1 square. If it is second, then 2 is to 2 square, likewise. So in case of orbit, the 2n square electron can accommodate, and in case of orbitals, only 2 electron can accommodate in a single orbital. Now let's discuss the shape of orbitals. First we will discuss the shape of s orbital. S orbital are spherical and have only one possible orientation, because it is also not directional. A sphere is not directional. It is equal in all the directions. So s orbitals are spherical and have only one possible orientation. There is only one s orbital per shell. Per shell, that means like whether it is a k shell, L, M or N, or 1, 2, 3, 4. Only one s shell, s subshell or orbital is available in each shell. So orbitals are also known as subshell. Clear? So the probability of finding the electron is greatest around the nucleus. This is for s orbital. S orbital is spherical in shape. Here the dense area shows the probability of finding electron, that is the maximum. Okay, so those areas which are near to the nucleus are having more probability of finding electron, whereas when we move far from the nucleus, the probability of finding the electron decreases. So it is very clear from these diagrams that although the probability of finding the electron decreases, but it never go to the zero. That means in s orbital there is no place where the probability of finding the electron is zero, and electron can you can find electron anywhere in that spherical shape. Also, the s orbital will hold a total of 2 electrons, because there is only one s orbital present in per shell. Next is p orbitals. P orbitals are dumbbell shaped, and unlike the spherical shape of the s orbital, these are dumbbell shaped. Also here you can see that two lobes are present in the dumbbell and one node is present. So at this place the probability of finding the electron is 0, whereas on dumbbell sides the probability of finding the electron is higher. So these shapes basically show the probability of finding the electron. The broader the shape, more is the probability of finding electron. As it goes narrower, the probability of finding electron decreases, and at the node side the probability of finding the electron is 0. There are three types of, as the p orbital is directional, so there are three types of p orbitals which rest along the different axes. Like if it rests along the x-axis, it is known as the px orbital. If it rests along the y-axis, it is known as the py. If z-axis, then it is known as the pz orbital. So here you can see that these are three different p orbitals, and this is a combination of the p shell. So p orbitals are having three orbitals. Also, as these are the three orbitals and each orbital can accommodate 2 electrons, so there are total 6 electrons can be accommodated in p orbitals. Next is d orbitals. So also in case of d orbitals, it is a double dumbbell shape except dz square. Dz square is having a single dumbbell and a ring, whereas other 4 type of d orbitals are having a double dumbbell shape, and there are total 5 number of d orbitals. So here you can see that these 4 are of similar shape and this one is having a different shape. These all are known as dyz, dxz, dxy and dx square minus y square. If you observe carefully, you can see that here in case of dyz, dxz and dxy, the lobes are in between the axis. Like here it is in between the x and y axis, so it is known as the dxy. Here the lobes are in between the x and z axis. This one is x axis and this one is z axis. So this one is known as dxz, and this is also similar for the yz. Whereas in case of dx square minus y square, the lobes are on the axis. So here you can see that in case of dx square minus y square, the lobes are on the x axis and on the y axis. Also, as all the d orbitals accommodate 2 electrons each, so overall the d orbitals contain 10 electrons. F orbitals. The F orbitals are found in shells with a quantum number of 4 or higher. Also, there are 7 orbitals in case of F orbitals, 7 type of F orbitals. Here the structure of all 7 type of F orbitals are given. The shape of F orbital is more complex as compared to the D, and it is having, you can see here that here the triple dumbbell shape is there, and these are present sometime these are present on the axis, and in some diagrams these are present between the axis. And also, like the d orbital, it is having a double dumbbell shape with ring, but in this case there are 2 rings. So there are total 7 number of F orbitals, and each F orbital contain 2 electrons, so there are total 14 electrons can be accommodated by the F orbital. Difference between the orbital and orbital. Let's take a summary about the orbit and orbital. Orbit is a well-defined circular path followed by revolving electrons around the nucleus, whereas orbital is a region of shape around the nucleus where the probability of finding electron is most. Also, the orbit represent planar motion of an electron, whereas orbital represent a 3-dimensional motion of an electron, because it shows an area, whereas it shows a circular path only. Also, the maximum number of electron in an orbital is 2n square. Orbit is 2n square, whereas in orbital it can not accommodate more than 2 electrons. Here the shape is given, which we have already discussed, and also these are the shape of different orbitals. Orbits are non-directional in character, hence they cannot explain the shape of molecule, whereas the orbitals are having some directions, as we have discussed in the structure of different orbitals, some are laying along the axis, or some are laying on the axis or in between the axis. So it is clear that these are directional, and hence it is very convenient to explain the structure of the molecule on the basis of the orbitals. VACPR theory. This is now we are going to start our main topic, which is VACPR theory. The full form of this theory is valence shell electron pair repulsion theory, and as the name suggests that in this theory we are going to discuss about some electron pair repulsions. So in any molecule there are different type of electron pairs are present. Some electron pairs are used to form bonds, whereas some electron pairs are unused. So those electron pairs which are used to form bonds are known as bond pair, whereas the unused electron pairs are known as the lone pairs. So there are 2 types of pairs, the lone pair and bond pair around the molecules. This theory was first presented by the Sidgwick and Powell in 1940. VACPR theory is used to predict the shape of molecule from the electron pairs that surround the central atom of the molecule. All the molecules are having a central atom, or from all of atom, one atom is designated as central atom. Like in case of H2O, the oxygen is designated as central atom, and 2 hydrogens are bonded with the oxygen. In oxygen there are total 6 electrons are present in outermost orbital. So out of those 6, 2 electrons are used to form bonds with the hydrogen. 2 electrons of hydrogens are used for the formation of bonds. So around the oxygen there are total 2 bond pair electrons are present, whereas other 4 electrons of oxygen are unused. So 4 electrons make 2 lone pairs. So in case of H2O, there are two lone pairs and two bond pairs are present. According to this VACPR theory, the electron pairs, all these electron pairs which I have discussed, arrange themselves around the central metal atom in such a way that there is minimum repulsion between them. Because when minimum repulsion occurs, the energy of the molecule will be lower, and this will increase the stability of the molecule. If there is more repulsion, in that case what happened? The energy increases and the stability of that molecule decreases. This arrangement of the atom determines the geometry of the resulting molecule, because apart from the structure of orbital, also there are some factors which affect the structure of molecule, which are the lone pairs and bond pairs, and mutual repulsion between them. Also, due to this repulsion, the shape is slightly changed from what the theory says, because the electrons will not remain at a proper axis. Also, this theory was given by the Sidgwick and Powell, but in 1957, Ronald Nyholm and Ronald Gillespie improved this theory and also explained the molecular shape and bond angles more exactly. So this is all for today. I hope you enjoyed the lecture. We will discuss VACPR theory in more detail in next lecture. Thank you.